Good day, everyone. My name is Jade G. Downing from BSHM 3A, and I'm going to discuss about the laws regulating restaurants and other tourism-oriented establishments on Chapter 10. So, for the learning objectives, enumerate the responsibilities of a restaurant or similar establishment, identify the laws that govern restaurants, caterers, bars, health and fitness clubs, spas, and entertainment outlets. Then, cite examples of issues and problems that may arise in restaurants, bars, and other tourism-oriented establishments. For the topic outline, first is the nature and description of business, restaurants, shops or department stores, sports and recreational centers, museums, karaoke bars, galleries, tertiary hospitals for medical tourism, spas, laws governing casinos and gaming establishments, special conditions of the franchise, taxes and exemptions, prohibitions, operating and maintenance of tourism-related establishments, then requirements for accreditation by the Department of Tourism, laws regulating caterers, Food Caterers Association of the Philippines, role of the local government units, role of the Bureau of Food and Drugs, retail trade law, rules on who may engage in retail trade, qualification and requirements of foreign investors, laws regulating sale and alcohol, laws regulating churches, monuments, national shrines, landmarks, and other important historic edifices. Then vandalism, then poisoning, and lastly is theft. The longevity of some Filipino restaurants is attributed to their consistent quality and loyal patronage across generations. Entertainment in the Philippines is deeply tied to social status, education, and hospitality, with modern venues like karaoke bars and comedy clubs replacing older entertainment establishments. So the country is rich in arts and culture, with the state committed to its protection and enrichment under the 1987 Constitution. Various cultural sites, including museums, galleries, and entertainment establishments, reflect the nation's artistic and intellectual heritage. This chapter discusses the laws regulating restaurants and tourism-related businesses that contribute to the evolution of Filipino national culture. Nature and description of business. A business establishment, it can take various forms depending on its nature and purpose. Restaurants, bars, and pubs provide refreshments and meals to the public, while department stores offer diverse merchandise organized into sections of efficiency. Shops are similar retail outlets focusing on specific goods or services. Sports and recreational centers cater to tourists and the public with facilities like gyms, dance studios, and theme parks. Museums exhibit historical, cultural, and artistic artifacts, while galleries showcase visual arts. Karaoke bars provide entertainment through singing, and spas focus on holistic wellness and relaxation. So, the tertiary hospitals for medical tourism offer specialized healthcare services to international and local patients. Restaurant. A restaurant is an establishment that prepares and serves food and beverages to customers. It can range from casual dining spots to fine dining venues, offering various cuisines and service styles. Restaurants may provide dine-in, take-out, or delivery options to accommodate different customers' preferences. They are designed to create a comfortable atmosphere and where guests can enjoy meals and social gatherings and special occasions. So, a restaurant should have proper ingress or egress, a well-designed facade, and secured free parking for customers. A receptionist should be available to usher guests, and a waiting lounge with a telephone should be provided. The dining area must be spacious with well-maintained furniture, cleaned flooring, and a pleasant atmosphere. High-quality cuisine should be available during meal hours, served with distinction and meet government and international standards. Menus should be clean, presentable, and logically arranged, while tables must have high quality, unstained tablecloths and napkins. Silverware should always be polished and clean. Staff must be well trained, groomed, experienced, and courteous. The bar should be well stocked, and comfort rooms must be clean, with high quality materials, proper sanitation, and essential supplies. The kitchen, pantry, and cold storage must maintain high hygiene standards with adequate lighting in all areas. Dining and function rooms should be air conditioned or well ventilated, and all sections of the restaurant should be properly maintained. A periodic vermin control program should be implemented, and firefighting facilities must comply with the Fire Code of the Philippines. Shops or department stores. The establishment should be fronting a major street or thoroughfare is situated in a shopping center or mall. The entrance and display windows should be attractively designed and adequately illuminated. The furniture and decor of the establishment should be presentable and functional at all times. The shop should be fully air conditioned. Well-maintained restrooms should be provided by the establishment itself. In the event that the shop is located in the shopping mall or commercial building, the common or public restrooms should be made available to the clients or visitors. In the case of department store, it should be in an edifice or a building, or maybe part of a shopping mall or center. A parking area should be made available to clients, and there should be appropriate directional signs. All members of the staff should be well groomed, courteous, and efficient at all times. Goods displayed in the shop window or showcases should be provided with clearly written price tags. A wide selection of goods should be in stock. An official receipt should be supplied to the tourist for each purchase. The full name and address of the establishment should be printed on the receipt, together with the number of the authorized business license. Purchase should be itemized, together with the granted on the goods should be indicated. Discounts should be given on the price of the goods marked on the price tags. The business should be responsible for the maintenance of its facilities and premises and its immediate surroundings. In the case of antique shops, a certificate confirming authenticity should be attached to each article in accordance with the guidelines or instructions of the National Museum. Sports and recreational centers. Sports and recreational centers are establishments that offer facilities and activities for physical fitness, leisure, and entertainment. They can include gyms, dance studios, swimming pools, sports courts, theme parks, cinemas, and other venues for recreation. These centers cater to both tourists and the general public, promoting health, wellness, and social interaction. They are designed to provide a safe and an enjoyable environment for individuals and groups to engage in sports, exercise, and various forms of entertainment. The locality and environments, including the approaches, should be pleasant with proper ingress and egress. The facade and architectural features should be appropriately designed. There should be adequate and secured parking space for customers. Adequate security should be provided at all times. A receptionist should be available to usher in guests, and a waiting lounge with telephone should also be provided. Museums. The institution should be a member of the National Committee of Museums. The locality and environments, including approaches, should be pleasant with proper ingress and egress. The facade and architectural features should be appropriately designed, and adequate and secure parking space for customers should be made available. Adequate security should be provided at all times. A well-informed receptionist should be available to usher in guests. A waiting lounge with telephone should be provided. There should be a conference or auditorium provided with audiovisual equipment and made available to the public. There should be an adequate and equipped library which is made available to the public, and there should be a adequate and accessible toilet facilities provided separately for male and female, with toiletries provided. Karaoke bars. Karaoke bars should be in a well-zoned, accessible location with a properly designed facade and free secured parking for customers. A receptionist should welcome guests, and the venue should have a designated dining or lounge area with a pleasant atmosphere, appropriate lighting, audiovisual systems, and well-maintained furniture. Menus should be clean, presentable, and logically arranged, with all listed items available on a best effort basis. Tables must have high-quality, unstained tablecloths and napkins, while silverware should be polished and clean. Staff should be well-trained, groomed, and courteous, and the bar should always be well-stocked. Comfort rooms must have quality fixtures, running water, and proper sanitation with necessary supplies like tissue, soap, and hand dryers. The kitchen, pantry, and cold storage must be hygienic and well equipped, while dining and function rooms should be fully air conditioned with adequate lighting throughout the establishment. Galleries. The gallery should be located in a commercial district with a pleasant, formal atmosphere. It should be characterized by a fixed space for proper display of artworks and should be used exclusively for gallery business. All sections of the gallery should be properly maintained and kept clean at all times. Administrators or operators should ascertain that the artworks on exhibit or on display are authentic, and if acquired from other sources, said acquisitions must be legitimate and not violative of any law relating to said transaction or acquisition. The paintings and other artworks on exhibit or on display should be properly lighted and labeled. The gallery should be properly secured, and the gallery should be located in a commercial district with a pleasant formal atmosphere. It should be characterized by a fixed space for proper display of artworks and should be used exclusively for gallery business. All sections of the gallery should be properly maintained and kept clean at all times. Tertiary hospitals for medical tourism. The minimum requirements for the operation of tertiary hospitals for medical tourism shall be based on the following criteria, such as first, location must be accessible and centrally located. The next is bedrooms must have adequately equipped suite and private rooms with 24-hour service of hot and cold running water, showers and bathroom essentials, IDD and DDD lines, televisions, hot and cold drinking water, refrigerator, and 24-hour room service. Then, front office or reception. The launch porter service, foreign exchange counter, overseas calls facilities, reception amenities, and business center. Then next is housekeeping, such as high quality and spotlessly clean linen, towels, blankets, laundry, and dry cleaning services. Then food and beverage must have a well-equipped, well-maintained, and well-furnished restaurant. Standard includes room service staff and kitchen staff. Engineering and maintenance include ventilation, lighting, emergency power, waste disposal, and management. The next is general facilities. Elevator for the exclusive use of patients and service purposes of the hospital, parking or valet service, shops, 24-hour service, security service, transportation service, computerized billing system, public washrooms, and waiting lounge. Then lastly is staff, professionally qualified, courteous, smart, efficient, and trained staff wearing smart and clean uniforms. Interpreters of Nihongo, Mandarin, Korean, Cantonese, or etc. must be available upon request. Spas are establishments that promote relaxation, wellness, and rehabilitation through professionally administered services. They are classified into various types, including day spas for certain treatments, destination or resort spas focus on lifestyle improvement, and hotel spas offering wellness and services within accommodations. Cruise spas provide fitness and relaxation services aboard ships, while club spas are fitness-centered facilities with spa treatments for members and non-members. Wellness centers emphasizes the balance or diet, lifestyle, and rejuvenation, whereas rehabilitation centers focus on therapy for health-related conditions. Hospital spas integrate medical and alternative treatments for healing and well-being. Regardless of type, spas should be in a safe and tranquil location with well-maintained facilities, trained staff, clean public washrooms, and separate treatment and changing areas for men and women. Spas should provide the following service in addition to other spa-related amenities which it may offer. So first is massages, Swedish shiatsu, reflexology or tuna or Thai, aromatherapy or Filipino healing and modalities and or other acceptable massage treatments. The next is steam, sauna, and or water baths. So these should be maintained at a level of temperature which should not cause adverse reaction to user. Safety signage shall be provided to include information in allowable maximum temperature, duration of stay, and guide in operating temperature regulator. The next is spa treatments. One or more of the following body packs and wraps, exfoliation, body toning or contouring, waxing, hand, foot or face care, and hair. Laws governing casinos and gaming establishments. So in Section 1, Declaration of Policy, it is hereby declared to be the policy of the state to centralize and integrate all games of chance not heretofore authorized by existing franchises or permitted by law in order to attain the following objectives. So the laws governing casinos and gaming establishments in the Philippines aim to centralize and regulate all games of chance under a single government-controlled entity. This policy seeks to generate additional revenue for public infrastructure and social civic projects, enhance tourism through integrated recreational facilities, and curb illegal gambling-related corruption. The Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation was established to oversee and administer gaming operations, ensuring compliance with legal provisions while promoting reasonable gambling. So, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation is authorized to operate casinos, gaming pools, and other forms of legal gambling to support national development initiatives. Special conditions of the franchise. After deducting 5% as franchise tax, the 50% share of the government in the aggregate gross earnings of the corporation from this franchise, or 60% if the aggregate gross earnings to be less than 150 million shall be immediately be set aside and shall accrue to the general fund to finance the priority infrastructure development projects and to finance the restoration of damaged and destroyed facilities due to calamities, as may be directed to and authorized by the Office of the President of the Philippines. Taxes and exemptions. All importations for the sole and exclusive use of these casinos, the proper and efficient management and administration thereof, and such other clubs, recreation or amusement places to be established under this franchise shall be exempt from the payment of all kinds of custom duties. Taxes and other imposed, including all kinds of fees, levies, or charges of any kind or nature, whether national or local. Vessels or accessory ferry boats imported or to be imported by any corporation having existing contractual arrangement with PAGCOR for the sole and exclusive use of the casino or to be used to service the operations and requirements of the casino, and shall be totally exempt from the payment of all customs, duties, taxes, and other imposts, including all kinds of fees, levies, assessments, or charges of any kind of nature, whether national or local. So in prohibition, only tourists or foreigners who are not residents of the Philippines and residents with a net income for the previous year of at least 50,000 pesos, which should be certified by the Bureau of International Revenue, shall be allowed to play at the gambling casinos. Operation and maintenance of the tourism-related establishment. So firefighting facilities should be provided in accordance with the Fire Code of the Philippines. All facilities of the establishments concerned should be properly maintained at all times, and a periodic vermin control program should be conducted. All enclosed areas of the establishment concerned should be fully air-conditioned or well ventilated. Requirements for accreditation by the Department of Tourism. Any person, partnership, or corporation seeking accreditation from the Department of Tourism must submit a completed application along with the required documents in duplicated. So these include business registration certificates, income tax returns, financial statements, and a list of officials and employees with valid permits for foreign personnel. Additional requirements vary by establishment type, such as proof of exhibitions for galleries, health and fire safety certifications for hospitals and spas, and municipal licenses for all businesses. Spas must be also provide an updated list of management and therapists with valid health and DOH licenses. The Department of Tourism may request additional documents as needed. Laws regulating caterers. A caterer is defined as a person, firm, or association providing food and supplies, and sometimes services for parties, weddings, and other social functions. A caterer is defined as a provider of food and provisions. So there are two kinds of catering services. So first is on-premise catering. In this type of catering, the caterer has his own banquet hall with an attached kitchen or production area. The next is off-premise catering. For this type of catering, the caterer brings the complete service to the customers. It is a kind of banquet operation that takes place in a venue chosen by a client or in airline, both industrial site and other places. Laws regulating caterers. A caterer is defined as a person, firm, or association providing food and supplies, and sometimes services for parties, weddings, and other social functions. A caterer is defined as a provider of food and provisions. So there are two kinds of catering services. So first is on-premise catering. In this type of catering, the caterer has his own banquet hall with an attached kitchen or production area. The next is off-premise catering. For this type of catering, the caterer brings the complete service to the customers. It is a kind of banquet operation that takes place in a venue chosen by a client or in airline, both industrial site and other places. Food Caterers Association of the Philippines. The Food Caterers Association of the Philippines is a group of catering companies in need of industry. The association has managed to attract a diverse network of renowned allied members who represent the food manufacturing, food distribution, audio system, floral, photo, and wedding planning industries. Membership in Food Caterers Association of the Philippines has the following benefits, which is the opportunity to network with the best minds in the catering industry, expansion of the catering business by also showcasing itself to several prestigious events, then to learn through interchange of ideas and educational programs, then to keep abreast of the latest trends in order to keep business operations of optimum, then lastly is to speed to uplift the standards of food service to greater heights by growing with Food Caterers Association of the Philippines as it moves towards the dream professionalizing the Philippine catering industry. Role of the local government units. Under the Local Government Code, the national government has devolved the responsibility for providing basic services and facilities to local government units. So, the devolution of grants, LGUs, the authority to issue permits, grants franchises, and enact ordinances that promote the public welfare. They regulate the establishment, operation, and maintenance of the businesses such as restaurants, hotels, entertainment venues, and amusement facilities to ensure compliance with the community's standards. While LGUs have the power to control and govern these establishments, regulation does not equate to suppression or prohibition. Instead, it allows municipalities to implement necessary policies to maintain order, protect social and moral welfare, and manage businesses effectively. Role of the Bureau of Food and Drugs. Under Republic Act Number 3720, known as the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, the law seeks to ensure the safety and good quality supply of food, drugs, and cosmetics, and to regulate the production, sale, and traffic of the same to protect the health of the public. The Act created the Bureau of Food and Drugs to administer the Act. Retail Trade Law. The Retail Trade Liberalization Act of 2000, enacted on March 7, 2000, repealed the Retail Trade Nationalization Law to open the Philippine retail industry to more competition. The law aims to empower Filipino consumers by promoting lower prices, higher quality goods, better services, and more choices. It also supports consumer welfare by attracting investments that boost tourism and create jobs. The Act defines retail trade as the habitual selling of goods directly to the public but exempts restaurants linked to hotel businesses from its restrictions. In contrast, the Consumer Act of the Philippines defines consumer products as goods intended for personal, family, household, or agricultural use, including food, drugs, cosmetics, and devices. Rules on who may engage in retail trade. Number 1, Filipino citizens. Natural-born Filipino citizens who have lost their Philippine citizenship but who reside in the Philippines, and partnership associations and corporations organized under the laws of the Philippines, which are wholly owned by the Filipino citation, may engage in all forms of retail trade under the Act. So number 2, foreign-owned partnership. Associations and corporations formed and those organized under the laws of the Philippines may, upon registration with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or in case of foreign-owned single proprietorships with Department of Trade and Industry, may engage or invest in the retail business. Qualification requirements of foreign investors. So the Department of Trade and Industry is hereby authorized to pre-qualify all foreign retailers before they are allowed to conduct business in the Philippines. Qualified foreign retailers shall not be allowed to engage in certain retailing activities outside their accredited source through the use of mobile or rolling stores or carts, the use of sales representatives, door-to-door selling, restaurants and sari-sari stores, and such other similar retailing activities. Laws regulating sale and alcohol. So the National Internal Revenue Code, the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997, as amended by Republic Act Number 9334, December 21, 2004, has imposed excise taxes on the purchase of alcohol. The excise tax rates shall be based on the classification of alcohol content as provided under the law. The Local Government Code. Under the said law, every local government unit shall exercise the powers expressly granted, those necessarily implied therefrom, as well as powers necessary, appropriate, or incidental for its necessarily ineffective governance, and those which are essential to the promotion of the beneficent fair maintenance of peace and order within their respective territorial jurisdictions. Laws regulating churches, monuments, national shrines, landmarks, and other important historic edifices. So, by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 260, August 1, 1973, the following has been declared national shrines, monuments, and landmarks. So, first is the Santa Ana Site Museum in Manila, then the Roman Catholic Churches of Hawaii and Bacara in Ilocos Norte, the San Agustin Church and liturgical objects were there in Intramuros, Manila. For Pilar in Zamboanga City, the petroglyphs of the rock shelter in Agono, Rizal, the petroglyphs of Alab, Bontoc, the stone agricultural calendars of Dop I Giday in Beseo, Bontoc, the mummy caves of Kabayan, Benguet, Sagada, and Alabontoc, then the Ifugao rice terraces of Manawi as National Cultural Treasures, the Barasoain Church in Malolos, Bulacan, Tirat Pass in Cervantes, Ilocos Sur, the Miagao Church in Miagao, Iloilo, the site of Battle of Mactan on Mactan Island, Cebu, the San Sebastian Church in Quiapo, Manila, and the Church and Convent of Santo Niño in Cebu City. So, vandalism. So, malicious mischief, also known as vandalism, is a crime involving the deliberate destruction or damage of another's property. So, the law punishes those who harm public or private property, including statues, monuments, paintings, museums, and archives. This crime is often committed in recreational centers, cultural landmarks, and other tourism sites, making strict security measures essential. Malicious mischief is typically driven by hatred, revenge, or the mere pleasure of destruction. To be classified as malicious mischief, the act must be proven to have been committed solely for the purpose of causing damage. Poisoning. Poisoning is a crime involving the administration or harmful substances or beverages to another person, causing physical harm. Under Article 264 is if serious injuries result but there is no intent to kill, penalties for serious physical injuries apply. The Article 265 covers less serious injuries that incapacitated the victim for at least 10 days or require medical treatment for the same duration. Article 266 defines slight physical injuries with penalties varying based on the severity and duration of incapacitation. The law ensures that the offenders face appropriate consequences based on the extent of harm inflicted on the victim. Theft. Theft is the unlawful taking of another person's property without consent and without using violence or force. Qualified theft occurs when the crime is committed with grave abuse of confidence, resulting in a higher penalty. Theft of property from the National Library or National Museum carries specific penalties which may be increased under the other laws. Employees in tourism establishment often committed theft, so business owners should be implement strict security measures and limit access to money and valuable items. The severity of penalties depends on the value and nature of the stolen property as well as the circumstances around the crime. So let's end this topic with a quote. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try, by John Kennedy. So this quote means that the success begins the moment you choose to take action rather than just thinking about it. Without the decision to try, no progress or achievement is possible. So thank you everyone. Once again, my name is Jade Claire G. Downing from BSHM 3A and thank you for watching.